What's up, buddies? What, Jim? And in this live stream, I'm going to be reviewing the U2 Joshua Tree album, as well as reviewing my top 5 U2 songs. But I'm joining with Jimmy Barnes.
Hi, Adam. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being on my channel.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
You've only been on my channel once before, and that was for a quiz I did.
I think it was some time ago, weren't it?
Yeah. Celebrate 500 subscribers.
Absolutely. God, it seems a lifetime ago now. So yeah.
Didn't you win that contest?
I did. I won your Wild West contest. That's right. Yeah, I did.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this. So we'll start off with reviewing the album, which you heard for the first time today.
Yeah, it's surprising, really. I remember my dad had a copy of it on cassette back in the late 80s. I mean, it came out in 1987, as we know, and he had a copy at least a couple of years or so after. But I don't ever recall him listening to it. But obviously, there's tracks on the album that were big singles, and I'm very familiar with. But yeah, today was the first time I'd listened to it in full from start to finish.
You got Richard here. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Great to see you in the chat. Yeah, I've only heard the album twice. I've got it on vinyl, as you can see.
Yeah.
I only heard it for the first time. I think it was late last year, so I'm not that familiar with this album.
More than me.
It released in 1987. It's the fifth studio album. And yeah, we'll just get started with the first track. There's 11 songs on this, and 5 of them were actually with singles. So pretty much half the album.
Yeah.
With singles. So yeah, we'll start off with the first song on the album, "Where the Streets Have No Name."
I love this version on the album. I mean, I've heard the single version, the radio edit, a lot over the years. It's one of those that, I grew up on Radio 1, really, so I heard it a lot in the late 80s, into the 90s. But I like this album version because it's got an extended intro that really kind of is so atmospheric. And it also sets kind of a template for the album as well, with the Edge's like chiming guitar, that kind of Edge type sound. And I wasn't sure if you wanted me to score any of these tracks individually, but I have. I've scored each track out of 5, and I gave "Where the Streets Have No Name" 4 out of 5. It's a great opener. I loved it. It's really good.
Yeah, I agree. I've given each song a score out of 10, so I'll do that. But yeah, I think it's an excellent opener. I love how the song builds up, like you were saying, and I think the chorus in the song is very powerful and also very catchy as well. And yeah, it definitely sets the tone for the whole album. Should be saying that.
Oh, I didn't know that about Kirsty MacColl. Oh, that's interesting. That
I didn't know that.
Oh no! Oh, thanks, Richard. Yeah, that's interesting bit of trivia there.
Yep. And then the next track on the album is one of their biggest songs. That's I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Yeah, there again, out of the, as you say, there was technically 5 singles, but out of the 3 that were kind of, definitely released in the UK at the time, it's the second of, the big 3 for me, really. I always remember the music video for this, where I think it's set in Las Vegas, and it's the Edge kind of walking around playing an acoustic guitar. It's another great track, and it's a kind of early, along with the previous one, "Where the Streets Have No Name." I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's really kind of an early U2 classic, an early standard for them, really. And it's another one that I think's excellent, and it's another one I've given 4 out of 5. It's just a really good kind of, slightly rootsy, really, but just a really great U2 song and a great single as well. So 4 out of 5 for me.
Well, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I forgot to mention what gave the first song out of 10.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving that one a 10 out of 10 as well.
Oh wow.
I think every song on this third side, except for one song, I think all the others are a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I really love this one. I really love it lyrically as well. It's a very relatable song, and I think the chorus is very anthemic. It's one you'll never forget.
Mm.
I think it contains some of Bono's best vocals as well. I love the Edge's guitar work. I think he does some of his best here, and I really like the backing vocals as well. It helps elevate the song.
Yeah.
But I've actually written a meaning for each of these songs. So the first song is an anthemic opener, expressing a longing to escape the divisions of modern society, where names, streets, and labels define people. It was inspired by Bono's travels to Ethiopia.
That's right. Yeah.
The contrast between wealth and poverty. And then with the song, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's a gospel-infused track about spiritual searching. Bono sings about striving for something transcendent, whether that's love, faith, truth, but never quite reaching it. So yeah, it's great meaning behind that one.
Yeah.
But then we move on to another one of their biggest songs, and that's "With or Without You."
Yeah, I think this, and with maybe another one later on the album being a close second, this is my favourite on the album. I'm always a little bit stingy with my scoring. I mean, you probably think I should have given the last two like 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 or whatever, and it's just me. I kind of, something really has to sort of speak to me for me to give it full marks. But I have given With or Without You 4.5 out of 5. I mean, I know you're a big sort of pop culture kind of fan of, you absorb a lot of different entertainment, Adam, and I'm sure that it's no news to you that this track was used on an episode of the sitcom Friends many years ago.
It was in the first series, I believe.
The third one, did you say?
Is it the first series?
Oh, the first, yeah, probably, yeah. See, so you remember better than me. I knew it was on one, because I just remember that track being played, and it's, it was when I saw the episode for the first time. I mean, I'd heard the song many times years before, but it was the first time I'd heard it again in years, and I just kind of fell in love with the track again all over. It's a beautiful song, and it's probably, I'd say, almost certainly for me, the best track on the album, and an obvious single, really. And it's 4 out of 5 for me, but it's, I could have easily given it full marks, really, because it is one of U2's all-time best, really, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree. It's been years since I've seen Friends. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but
yeah,
it was ages ago. I watched the whole series.
Same. I've seen it many times, but not for some years. But I always remember With or Without You being on the episode. Yeah. I think it was a radio dedication, I think, if memory serves, from Ross.
But yeah, I really love this one. It's got a very infectious and melancholic melody to it, and I think it's an emotionally powerful song that builds up just like the first track. And I think Bono really sings. He really means what he's singing here. And he really belts out towards the end of the song, especially. I love the guitar playing, of course. It's very mellow and easy to listen to. And meaning for this one, it's a haunting song about a turbulent relationship that's full of emotional contradictions. It balances desire, pain, love, and helplessness. So I think lyrically one of the best songs on the album. Yeah. I really love it. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the next song on the album is the only song I wouldn't give a 10 on the first side. That's Bullet the Blue Sky.
Yeah, I gave this 3 out of 5. So I liked it without loving it. The main thing that stood out for me with Bullet the Blue Sky is the bass line. It was I found it quite ominous, really. I was streaming the album from my Echo device through my hi-fi speakers, and it sounded great that way. By the way, I mean, obviously I prefer listening to things on vinyl or even CD or cassette, really. But the album as a whole sounded great. But just I really noticed that kind of ominous, brooding sort of bass line for this track, Bullet the Blue Sky. I don't think I'd ever heard this song before today. As I say, I've not heard the album in full until today, but I've heard many of the songs on it over the years. Not one of my favourites on the album, but I didn't dislike it. So this one's a 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, it's not one of my top favourites on the album, but I still think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the previous 3 songs, though. I think it's a really great song. Just nothing amazing about it, really. And I found it a bit interesting that Bono was talking in some of the parts of the song.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. That probably the bass playing is probably the best part of the song, and I'm going to give it an 8.5. That one. So it's still a really great one. And then you end the first side with Running to Stand Still.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I know, I mean, I've made a few little notes, and I know you will have made similar notes sort of about the lyrics and stuff. But this, I wrote on about this one that it was a song about a drug epidemic in Dublin, I believe.
Yeah.
So there's it's kind of setting Bono's stall out, as he would continue to do to this day, of writing songs about social conscience and sort of social and political issues as well. I thought the piano on this, I'm not sure who played the piano. I think it might have been The Edge or possibly Brian Eno. I'm not sure. I thought the piano sounded really good on this, and I also really enjoyed the harmonica outro as well. I think Bono is the harmonica player in U2. So I really like this track. I gave it 3.5 out of 5. I think it was a great end to side 1. Obviously, there were no sides for the way I listened to it, but I knew it ended side 1. So 3.5 out of 5 for me. This one.
Yeah, I'm going to be giving it a 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I really love this one. I love the laid back acoustic style of it, and yeah, it's just nice to dial it back. I think because there's quite a few heavy hitters on this, but lyrically it's quite a sad song though. But it's also a bit hopeful as well.
Yeah.
I love the harmonica part towards the end of the song, and yeah, I love the piano playing. That's probably the highlight of the song. Yeah.
The piano were lovely in it. Yeah.
But the meaning for Bullet the Blue Sky is a fiery, aggressive song criticizing American military intervention, particularly in El Salvador. And then for Running to Stand Still, it's a somber piano-led ballad about heroin addiction.
Yeah.
Dublin's Ballymun Flats. And the lyrics reflect despair and a yearning for peace. Yeah, that's it for the first side. I've given the first side a score out of 10, and it got a 9.5. So really excellent first side.
Oh. I mean, I've given the whole album a score out of 55 because I just added up all the separate scores. So I'll give you that after we do the last track on side 2.
Yeah, it's moved to side 2 with Red Hill Mining Town.
Yeah, this was great. This lyrically, it kind of spoke to me quite sort of personally. This one, because of it being about the UK miners' strike. I mean, I was I'd almost firsthand as a very young child experience of that, because my dad was a coal miner, and he was obviously involved with the miners' strike of 1984. That would have been, and I've still got quite vivid memories of going to they were kind of like food banks at the time, but they were kind of giving free meals out at the local community centre and things like that to miners' families. I don't recall hearing a song, at least not in a very long time, about the miners' strike. And Red Hill Mining Town, as well as it having a lyric and a message that really made me think about my childhood and what my parents went through and what a lot of families around here went through, really. I thought it was an excellent song as well, and I would have, I think this would have made a good single. In fact, I think I read that it was in contention to be a single, and then it was changed for it'll either be Where the Streets Have No Name or I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. So it was picked as a single in sort of UK and elsewhere, but they decided against it. But I think it would have been a good single, this, if they had released it. And I gave it 4 out of 5. It was a really good one for me, Red Hill Mining Town. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this should have been a single on the album. It's one of my favourites on the album. And when I was listening to the album a second time, I completely forgot about this one. It's one of my favourites on the album.
Mm.
Yeah, I love everything about this one. I love the vocals and the instrumentation. I really like the string, the string arrangement on it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it lyrically. Yeah, it's one of my favourite non-album singles from them.
Mm.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it's got one of the better choruses found the album as well. But yeah, it's a song about the 1984 UK miners' strike, focusing on the emotional toll of families and communities. And Bono takes on the role of a miner torn between pride and hardship.
Mm.
That's it for that one, which I gave a 10. And the next song on the album is In God's Country.
Yeah, In God's Country, I enjoyed this. For me, there isn't a bad or even below average track on the album. In God's Country, I've scored it at 3.5 out of 5. I've not written much about it, but I remember it was a fairly short track. This I think it came in at under 3 minutes, if I'm getting it right. And I felt while the verse parts were not lacking, but maybe didn't thrill me, I thought the chorus of this song was its best part, and it really lifted the track as a whole. So that may have sort of made me bump it up half a point, perhaps, to 3.5. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 I gave In God's Country. I don't think it outstays its welcome as a song. And it's very good without me absolutely falling in love with it, really. So, yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me.
I'm going to give this one a 9. I think it's a really good song. It is the shortest song on the album. I think it's only just over 2.5 minutes.
Mm.
But I still think it does a lot in that time. And I agree that the chorus is probably the best part of the song. Yeah, I do think overall it's an excellent song, but it's only one I listened to on the album. I wouldn't choose to listen to this one.
Mm.
Let's listen to the album all the way through again. But the song's a politically charged track, reflecting on the idealism and contradictions of America, the promised land that is both inspiring and flawed. So yeah, that's it for that one. And then the 8th track on the album is Trip Through Your Wires.
Yeah, Trip Through Your Wires. Now, obviously, the Joshua Tree, the sort of theme, or one of the themes, but kind of the main one for me that runs through this album is it's like an American journey for certainly Bono as a lyricist and the band as a whole, really. So the fact that there's kind of a modern blues style track on this album. Doesn't surprise me. Unsurprisingly, it's probably my least favorite on the album. There's another one later on that maybe, you know, is on a par with it as far as a low score, or as low as I've gone is for any track on the Joshua Tree. I've just called this an average modern blues, and because I thought it was average, I thought I'll give it an average score. It's not bad. I don't hate it, but I didn't love it either, so I gave it 2.5 out of 5. I'm funny with blues. A lot of Rolling Stones stuff that I've listened to over the past few years, I didn't expect to enjoy because I knew it was very blues heavy, and I ended up loving it. But this one, not so much. It's a weak one on the album as a whole, but it's not bad. It's listenable certainly, but I think for me personally, Trip Through Your Wires is average. So 2.5 out of 5 for me.
I just think this one's really excellent. I gave it a 9.5.
Wow.
So yeah, I like this one more than you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one. I really like the harmonica part of it, and the song is mid-tempo with an upbeat sort of vibe about it. And yeah, I love the bass playing. I think it's got solid drumming as well. I'm not sure who the drummer is for U2, but he does a really great job on this album.
Yeah, Larry Mullen Jr. is U2's drummer. Yeah, he's great. He's got a very kind of martial way of playing. Sort of, it's almost militaristic, really, for a lot of the tracks from U2 over the years. And yeah, he's one of the best drummers of all time, really. I think Larry Mullen, to be honest.
Yeah, and the song is about the magnetic pull of love, which can be passionate, messy, and a little dangerous. So there's not a massive meaning behind this one. I still think it's really good. But the next song on the album, we're going back to 10 out of 10s. And it's with the song One Tree Hill.
Yeah, One Tree Hill. I enjoyed this without, there again, absolutely loving it. I like even though we've heard it in previous tracks on the album, I like Edge's he's now familiar sounding chiming guitar. I think that just the way he plays his guitar, I don't know any of the technical terms really. To me, it just sounds sort of chiming. It's good. It's really melodic, and the production that I think Brian Eno was at least a co-producer, and he played on the album as well, I believe. It all adds to what is an excellent album overall. The track itself, One Tree Hill, I think the bit I enjoyed the most was the kind of the ending to it, because it kind of had a gospel sort of feeling to me, and I didn't expect it. It was, oh wow, it's like suddenly gone all gospel, and that really kind of perked it up. So maybe I gave it an extra half a point here. So I gave it 3 out of 5 ultimately. So there again, not my favourite on the album by any stretch, but decent enough. I like this. Yeah, 3 out of 5 for me.
But yeah, like I said, I give this 1 out of 10. I think, yeah, I really love it. I love the story it tells. It's a very tragic one, but I think it just adds to the emotion of the song. And I think it's got a very catchy and well done guitar riff. There's not many talk guitar riffs on it, but when there is one, it works brilliantly. And it's another one of their songs on the album that builds up and sort of crescendos towards the end of the song, and it's got great backing vocals as well. And I love that the song ends with a synthesizer, which I found very, very cool.
Yeah,
there's not much of that on this album. But the song, it's a tribute to one of Bono's friends. It was his roadie, Greg Carroll.
Yeah.
Who tragically died in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah,
it's one of the more sort of sad songs on the album. But yeah, I really love it though. And then the next song on the album is the song Exit.
Yeah. As I say, there was two on the album that I felt were kind of average, and I couldn't really score them any higher than average. Really, it was "Trip Through Your Wires" and then this one, "Exit." What I've written about this is that it felt like a kind of ambient sounding jam to me. It felt like it was lacking in structure, and I'm really glad it wasn't the actual last track on the album, because you imagine something that's called "Exit" might be the final track on an LP, but fortunately we've got one more to go. So yeah, I'm not sure which I like more in "Trip Through Your Wires" and this. Maybe "Trip Through Your Wires" possibly edges it, as I can be sort of turned on to blues if I give it enough of a chance. Whereas this one, it kind of felt a little bit self-indulgent. I just wrote that it wasn't really a strong track for me overall, but that's just my opinion on it. But I gave it 2.5 out of 5 for "Exit."
I'll give a take on this one. I thought it was the most hard hitting song on the album. It's got a bit of an ominous vibe, which makes it makes sense with the subject matter. It's a bit of a dark and serious song, but I think it contains some of the best guitar work on the album. I really like that the drums are very front and center on this. You can really hear the drums on this one. I really like the instrumentation, which could get quite intense at times in the song. But I don't think of that as a bad thing. I think it actually helps elevate the song. But I don't think it's an amazing song. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I still think it's really great. I'm going to give it an 8.5. The meaning for this song, it explores themes of violence, obsession, and psychological breakdown. So yeah, it makes it one of the hard hitting songs, one of the most hard hitting songs on the album. But the album ends on a bit more of a lighter note, but still ends on a bit of a dark note though. That's "Mothers of the Disappeared."
I never heard this track before. At least I don't think I have, in as far as I can remember. I absolutely love this. This is, I think, a very close second behind "With or Without You" as my best track on the album. I want to, as you probably know, Adam, and certainly viewers of my channel will know, I'm a big electronic music and synth based music fan, and I just picked up on the synth line that ran through this track right away. Absolutely wonderful. The lyrics, I noticed, were quite politically charged. It was talking about people who had been disappeared in I think Central and or South America, and also that kind of made me think about the disappeared of Northern Ireland as well, which I don't think was what was on Bono's mind when he wrote this, but that kind of made me think about all the disappeared people from the Irish Troubles over sort of certainly from the late 60s to the late 80s, early 90s. But just as a song, as an album closer, it was excellent. This was fantastic. And there again, I feel I'm being a little bit stingy because I've not given anything full marks on this album, but I really enjoyed the album overall. And this "Mothers of the Disappeared" was a brilliant, brilliant ending. I can't wait to listen to this song again, to be honest, and hopefully I'll enjoy it even more. And it's going to become one of my very favourites in the U2 canon. So "Mothers of the Disappeared" for me is 4.5 out of 5. I really loved it.
I gave it a 10. So the first track and the last track, I'm both 10 out of 10. So yeah, I really love the bookend tracks on this album. But lyrically, it's a bit of a sad song. There's quite a few sad songs on this album, lyrically, but I still think it's a brilliant song, and yeah, I think it ends the album, yeah, just brilliantly. And I love the melody of the song and the way that Bono sings it. I really like the whole chill sort of melancholic vibe the song has, and
Mm.
it's one of the songs that does get to you probably the most on the album.
Yeah.
I've just got the meaning of the song here. So it's a deeply moving closer about the Green Pillars of Latin America, whose children were disappeared by oppressive regime. So yeah, you pretty much touched on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it 1 out of 10, and actually the average for that album for that side is 9.5. So
Wow.
both sides got a 9.5 for me. I'm gonna give the edge slightly to the first side.
Yeah, I mean, I've just scored it out of 55, and I added all the scores up. I gave it 39 out of 55, which I think is a great score. I enjoyed this album overall a hell of a lot more than I expected to. I like U2, but I'm a casual U2 listener. The only U2 I've got in my record collection is a couple of compilations, but there is a lot more U2 than that I know I like than I can, than really seems apparent for me. Really, if you see what I mean, they're a band who, if I took the time to get invested in them and each album, I think I could become quite a big fan. And Joshua Tree is certainly an album that I want to revisit and listen to again in the future. So I think, for something that I thought it might be a bit patchy for me, it might be a bit hit and miss. Overall, there wasn't a bad track on it. There was a couple of average ones, but the rest of it was good to excellent as far as I'm concerned. So for me, I think 39 out of 55. Weird score, I know, but because there were 11 tracks on it, that's the way I did it. I'm happy with that score, and I'm really happy that I was able to listen to it in full today.
Yeah, I'm glad you really liked it.
I did, yeah, it was great.
But I got the AI to give that number, which would be a score out of 10. You gave it a 7 out of 10.
Ah, right, yeah. I mean that sounds about right. That sounds fair. And like I say, if I listened to it again and carried on listening to it, and other U2 as well, I'd say it'd grow on me. There's certain albums I've listened to from other bands and artists over the years that I've grown to love, when maybe the first time I listened to it, I thought it was okay. So, this could be one of those in the future, really.
Well, I'm normally quite fair with my scores, but I normally give quite a few albums a high score. I normally give it a 9.75. So it's supposed to be a 10 for me.
Yeah.
It's in my top 100 albums.
Yeah. And unsurprisingly, really, with such a big score, but I could tell you really enjoyed this album, Adam.
Yeah.
And it is an iconic album, and it was massive. I mean, I was getting into music as kind of a 7-8-year-old, so I remember just the singles being all over the radio, on TV a lot. And I remember, the radio presenters, TV hosts talking about the Joshua Tree all the time. That's something I remember very vividly from my childhood. So it was, it was a massive album for its time, and rightly so, really.
It's my favorite U2 album, but I've only heard this and the Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah, I mean, I've not got any U2 studio albums. I've heard many of the singles, certainly all the early and kind of up to maybe the 2000s, all those singles. So, I kind of judge them as a sort of singles band in a way, which was helpful when we get onto the top 5 U2 songs, obviously. But the Joshua Tree is it's a legendary recording, really, and it does make me want to listen to more U2. So, job done, really, as far as U2 are concerned for me.
Richard's favorite album's War.
Yeah.
I think I know a few of their songs.
Yeah, I certainly know a good 2 or 3 off that album. Certainly, yeah. One of them in particular is one of my favourites.
I've actually ranked the songs from the Joshua Tree. Have you done that as well? Rank the songs on the album.
Well, on the Joshua Tree, like I say, I mean, I gave them all scores, and like they're just in order of how they came on the album themselves. But as I say, With or Without You is got to be number one. But Mothers of the Disappeared was certainly a close second, really. And that was just a really pleasant surprise almost, because I've never heard the song before, to the best of my remembrance. And so, like, as far as any kind of ranking in order of what I liked and to what I didn't like so much, those are the top two certainly for me. And then obviously the singles such as Where the Streets Have No Name, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. They're up there near the top as well, because I scored those at 4 out of 5.
Well, I've actually ranked all the songs, so I'll quickly do that. So when number 11 is Bullet to Blue Sky, when number 10 is Exit, when number 9 is In God's Country, when number 8 is Trip Through Your Wires, number 7 One Tree Hill. I forgot to mention that this album has 7 10 out of 10s from me, so I gave 7 of the songs a 10. My number 6, I feel bad saying my number 6 because it's one of your favourites. That's Mothers of the Disappeared.
Yeah.
But my number 5 is Running to Stand Still. Number 4, Where the Streets Are No Name. Number 3, Red Hill Mining Town. Number 2, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And number 1, With or Without You. So I've gone with a pretty cliche top 2. But I can't help out this album.
You enjoy what you enjoy, and yeah, I kind of wish I'd sort of rank them like that as well. But as I say, I mean, I know what's sort of down near the bottom, and I know what's down, what's up near the top, really. And it was a great listen. I really enjoyed listening to it today. Yeah, fantastic.
But when I get through our top 5 songs of U2, before we do that, do you have any honourable mentions?
I mean, this could have been a top 10 easily for me. Honourable mentions from me, certainly one from Achtung Baby that didn't make the cut, because what I've tried to do here, I've tried to pick a track off a different album for my top 5. So rather than there being, say, 2 off Achtung Baby, I've picked one from that album, and then like that means there's room for another one from a different album. But one from Achtung Baby I always loved. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, also from Achtung Baby. That's another great one. Lemon from Zooropa, I've always enjoyed that. Pride in the Name of Love, which I think was from the Unforgettable Fire, if memory serves. Another great track. So certainly those ones are my honourable mentions there.
I've got a few honourable mentions. So one of them is called MLK, which is about Martin Luther King. That's from the 1984 Unforgettable Fire album. And I've also gone with Where the Streets Are No Name, of course, the first track from the Joshua Tree. And I've also gone with Red Hill Mining Town from the Joshua Tree as well. But yeah, we'll do our number 5 back and forth and do the same until our number 1.
Okay.
So what's your 5th favourite?
My 5th favourite U2 song of all time is Stay, Far Away So Close. That was from 1993 Zooropa. I think it's kind of an underrated U2 song, even though it did well. I think it was top 10 in the UK, certainly, and possibly around the world. Interestingly, with this track, it was written for Frank Sinatra, but U2 ended up recording it themselves. But on the B-side, or as a bonus track on the single, there was a duet between Bono and Sinatra. I think it was a cover of I've Got You Under My Skin, which I may have heard many years ago. But to go back to Stay, or Stay brackets Far Away So Close, I think they added the Far Away So Close because the song was used in a Wim Wenders film of the same name in the around the same point in the 1990s. It's beautiful. This I don't know if I like it more than one, but like I say, I had to move one from Acton Baby into my honourable mentions because I just wanted to stick to one album each. So Stay kind of sort of jumped up a place, but that's not to undersell it. I don't know if you're familiar with the song at all, Adam, but
I don't think I am, though.
I think it's one of U2's most beautiful songs, certainly one of their most underrated singles, because it's just one that kind of seems to slip under the radar as it has for you, I think, to at least until today. So number 5 is Stay Far Away So Close. I think it's great.
My mum's mentioned a number 1, so her favourite's With or Without You.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a good one.
An instant honourable mention for me. With or Without
top 5.
Yeah, I know certainly a couple of those. I know some of those seem like deep cuts to me, like The Refugee. I'm not familiar with, but like I say, I don't know many of the deep cuts because I haven't got any actual U2 studio albums, and today was the first time I'd listened to one. But I do like lots of their singles. I really do.
But if being honest, Richard, I don't think I've heard any of those U2 songs, so I'm not sure if any of them were singles.
I think I Will Follow was certainly a single, and I believe I've heard Fire as well. I must have heard that. I probably not any of the others though.
But my number 5 it's from the Unforgettable Fire album. It's the song Bad, not the Michael Jackson song Bad, but the U2 song Bad. It's a haunted reflection on heroin addiction and the struggle to break free from its grip. But it could be about struggling to break free from any addiction, really. So it's quite a sad song lyrically, but I just really love the whole melody and the instrumentation. But it's Bono's vocals that really stand out. He really belts it out on this one, especially towards the end of the song. So I think vocally it's one of his best, and I think for that reason alone, that's why it's in my top 5. It's not really for the lyrics, even though it's very, very powerful lyrics. But it's his vocals that's why it's my number 5. I'm not sure if you've heard that one.
I have, yes, I know it. It's one that obviously I've not heard in quite some years, so I'd need to go and revisit that. And like I say, I could do with revisiting a lot, all the U2 albums from certainly that period as well. But I do know that, and yeah, it's from my vague recollection of it, I did enjoy it when I heard it.
So number 2 and 3 and 4 were singles. So,
yeah.
Cool, Richard. But yeah, that was number 5. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is from the 2000 album, All That You Can't Leave Behind, and it's the lead single from it, Beautiful Day. That synthy intro, that remains one of my favourite intros of any song ever. That it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, I'm a sucker for good synth anyway, and it just goes into being an absolute anthem, and it was a real sort of we're back statement from U2, Beautiful Day. As I keep saying, I haven't heard all the album, but I did like the singles off this generally. The follow-up single, Stuck in a Moment, that would be another honourable mention for me, really, thinking about it, as that was beautiful, sort of almost veering into ballad territory as a follow-up single. But Beautiful Day itself, I've got particular fond memories of the track for it being the theme to when ITV had the Premier League football coverage for a few years in the early 2000s. So it was great, like turning on the football on a Saturday evening and hearing U2 between commercial breaks and things like that. Beautiful Day is an anthem as far as I'm concerned, and it's an easy entry into my top 5. It really is.
I think I'd throw that one as an honourable mention. I forgot to mention that one as my honourable mention.
Yeah, there's some. I know I'll have forgotten one or two that I would have been contended. Like I say, I could have done a top 10 pretty easy, at least, really, for singles, certainly.
But my 4th favourite is my favourite song from the Unforgettable Fire album. It's the song Pride in the Name of Love. which is
Yeah.
it's a tribute to Martin Luther King Jr., even though they got the song MLK on the album. It's a power. It's a tribute to him and the power of non-violent resistance, celebrating those who live and die for love and justice. So I really love the meaning of the lyrics behind this one, and yeah, it just got a very catchy chorus, and I love the intro to the song. It's just one of those classic U2 songs. It's probably appears in all their compilation albums.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's certainly on one of the ones I've got. Pride is a brilliant. It's like the not the original U2, but one of their early kind of real sort of stadium anthems. Because they became a big stadium band, probably from that period onwards. Really, certainly once they cracked America, and Pride is fantastic. It was certainly an honourable mention from me. So yeah, a great choice there, Adam. Yeah.
And the album cover for the Unforgettable Fire album, I might actually go to the actual where it's actually taken, because I'm going to Ireland later this year. I'm going in September, so I'm hoping to go where the album cover was taken, but not for the Joshua Tree though. I'll have to go all the way to California for that one.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 4. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is from 1991's Achtung Baby, and it was the lead single from that album. It's The Fly. I don't know how kind of hardcore or proper U2 fans feel about The Fly, really, because for me it's a kind of a radical departure, but it came out in 1991 where sort of dance rock, to give it kind of that sort of terminology, was really big. We had the Manchester scene, which fused indie guitars with sort of electronic beats, dance music, things like that. Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, and I think U2 kind of sort of around just about within that sort of brief period where all that stuff was really popular. I think they really caught something with The Fly, and I just remember hearing it like for the first time when I was listening to the UK Top 40 on Radio 1, as I did religiously back in the late 80s and early 90s, and thinking, wow, this is U2, because I was just mainly familiar with U2's Joshua Tree singles, and then one or two that were from Rattle and Hum as well. And I heard The Fly, and it sounded like dance music, but there was guitars in it as well. I was a big fan of the Manchester scene, and I still am. I love that fusion of guitars and synthesizers, that sort of marriage of indie and dance music, really. And that's what The Fly is to me. And it was a number 1 single as well in the UK. I think it spent 1 week at the top of the chart. And although, like I say, I think one from Achtung Baby is beautiful. If I had to pick one track from the album for my top 5, which I did, then it would be The Fly, because I just have great memories of hearing it and thinking, wow, U2 have changed. This is completely different, but it's cool and it's modern. It felt like of its moment. So my number 3 is The Fly.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh, so wow, really?
You've got 2 songs in your top 5 that I've not heard from U2.
It was a number 1. I don't know if it's one that they play in concert particularly. They might do. I honestly don't know. I'm not even sure it's on any of my compilations, to be honest. It's one of those that, for me, it's really memorable, and I remember hearing it for the first time. But I don't know if it's kind of in U2's own canon, if they're particularly proud of it. I'm not sure, to be honest. But me personally, because I love dance rock and like indie dance, that Manchester, baggy, that kind of scene. For me, that was their version of it, and I thought it was fantastic. I really did. So I do recommend that you do seek that one out, Adam.
It sounds like quite a unique song for them.
It is, yeah. It's just so different from anything they did prior. Yeah, it's a complete departure. Yeah.
Cool. So I might as well mention my number 3 and number 2 back to back because they're both from the Joshua Tree album. So my number 3 is Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and my number 2 is With or Without You. So you might as well do your number 2 and go straight to your favourite.
Well, my number 2, and I'm wondering if it could be your number 1, Adam, because although maybe not, because I know you got limited experience of U2 albums, and this one is from the War album from 1983, and it's Sunday Bloody Sunday.
That's a good one.
I mean, I mentioned earlier about Larry Mullen Jr.'s drumming being really martial. I mean, if you want a good example of what a great drummer he is, I mean, Sunday Bloody Sunday is the one to listen to, because it starts almost from year zero with just a brilliant drumming performance from Mullen. And the lyrics, obviously, this is something that's of a lot of interest to me lyrically, because it was about the massacre during the Derry Civil Rights March of the early 70s. So it's politically, it speaks a loud and important message, from dating back over 50 years now. But it still kind of, it sets the goosebumps on my neck and the hairs on the back of my neck when I listen to it now. And I've heard other versions of it, like I've heard like an almost acoustic version that they've done in concert before. I think that was a B-side for a single that I used to have. Sunday Bloody Sunday, I mean, I think everyone knows it, who's even vaguely familiar with U2. It's a very close number 2. It's a very, very honourable runner-up, really, as far as I'm concerned. Sunday Bloody Sunday, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yep, one there. It's another one of their classics. So, what's your favourite U2 song then? Richard's Guess Mine. That's New Year's Day.
That's Richard's guess.
We'll see whether you're right or not, Richard.
New Year's Day, assuming that is yours, Adam. That was like U2's breakthrough single, and it's a classic, really. But mine is one. I'm assuming you're probably unfamiliar with it. It's from the Pop album from 1997. And it is, for me, the most beautiful song U2 have ever recorded, and it's one of my all-time favourite singles by anyone ever. It's, if I ever did my top 100 favourite singles, this would have to be in there somewhere, and probably somewhere near, high up as well. But it's If God Will Send His Angels, and it was a top 20 single, I think, here in the UK at the end of '97. It was released at a good time, really, because it mentions Christmas a lot in the lyrics, and it was kind of U2's almost Christmas single, really, but it did feature on the Pop album. The video is always very memorable. It was filmed in a very unique way. It was filmed at like an American diner, and Bono was sort of miming to his lyrics kind of normally, but everyone else around him was sped up. So it was quite a nice, it was an interesting effect, the way they did it. And then it was like a split screen thing where you had Bono sort of at the top of the screen, and then you had who he was sitting opposite at the table in this diner, and people just coming and going from sitting beside him. Absolutely outstanding song. It's a ballad, and I'm not a big ballad guy generally, but there's just something about this. The very first time I heard this back in 1997, I rushed out and bought the CD single. I thought, this is the best thing U2 have done. It's heartwarming. It's there's some sad lyrics to it. It's not all sort of happiness and everything, but it works well, especially at that time of year with the references to Christmas in the lyrics. It's my favourite U2 song of all time, and it's one of my favourite singles by any act of all time as well. If God Will Send His Angels.
I can't believe I've never heard that one.
No, that I mean, I've recommended a few, but yeah, that's obviously that's one for me for you to go away and listen to. Yeah, it's simply wonderful. That I think you'd really love that, Adam. If you
definitely have to watch the music video of that. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, I believe. It's the music video. The video is great. Just the way it was done. Just I don't know. Just the whole package for me. The video, the song, the single. That was actually the one that I mentioned. There was a live acoustic version of Sunday Bloody Sunday as one of the B-sides. It was on that single. So perfect CD single to buy because it has me top 2 U2 songs on it. You know, wow. Perfect, really. If God Will Send His Angels and Sunday Bloody Sunday on the same single, really.
That's Richard's favourite for the 90s period.
Yeah, Staring at the Sun, Mysterious Ways, a very, very big single from Achtung Baby, that'll be. Yeah, remember that a lot.
But it's my favourite New Year's Day. It actually isn't. It's not my favourite. Oh. It's song 1. Achtung Baby.
Yeah, it's so good in it, 1. It's beautiful.
I think ever since I first heard it, it was my favourite U2 song. But it's a bittersweet song about unity in the face of division, whether in relationships or in the world, calling for empathy and forgiveness. So I think lyrically, it could be their best song. But I also love the whole melody and the chorus. It's very anthemic.
Yeah.
I love the very chilled sort of vibe the song has. And I really like the bridge section of the song mentioned about love is a temple.
That's a great bridge. Yeah, I totally agree. It's a fantastic song.
It's a top 100 song for me.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs from the 90s in general.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's such an outstanding track that, and as I say, it was honourable mention for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, his version's really good.
Yeah, I think I've heard his version.
I've only heard it. I think I've only heard it once, but I remember really liking it. I like the U2 version more though.
Yeah.
But I think it's from the album when he did the song "Hurt." I think it was that album.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very familiar with his cover of "Hurt." That is a really good cover. That's arguably better than the original. So it would likely be from that album. I'd have thought. Yeah.
Oh no, it isn't from the album.
Oh.
But I think it's around that time though.
You'd have thought so, yeah, because it was more sort of at the tail end of Johnny Cash's career, and obviously One itself didn't come out till like 91, 92-ish. So yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind revisiting his version because I think I've only heard it the one time. So I'll have that on the list. But yeah, that's it for our discussion on U2. We reviewed the Joshua Tree and reviewed the top 5 songs of theirs. In fact, thanks for joining me, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you for having me again, Adam. Really appreciate it, and I look forward to hopefully doing another album review and top 5 with you again in the future, mate.
Yeah, sounds good. But thanks to everyone in the chat, Richard and my mum as well. But please let us know, whoever's watching, please let us know your thoughts on the Joshua Tree and your favourite U2 songs in the comments below. I'd just appreciate it if you would give this video a like and also subscribe to Jimmy's channel. I said give this video a like. I meant give this live stream a like.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that just about do it for this one. So, do you have any final words, Jimmy?
Just thank you once again, Adam. Everyone who's watching after the fact, on demand, as it were, make sure you were subscribed to What the Gym. If you haven't already, I'm sure you are if you're watching. Lovely guy, passionate about music, and it's been a pleasure to be able to be on this stream with him today. So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you once more to Adam at What the Gym for inviting me.
I appreciate those words, Jimmy. It's very kind of you. But until next time, everyone, peace out, peace and love, and ciao. Goodbye.